Alrighty, guys, welcome to tonight's charting session. It is November 14th. It is Tuesday. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. So let's kind of jump into tonight. The schedule, kind of what we're going to be talking about is, number one, it was CPI today going into the morning. When I woke up and kind of looked at the charts, I was not really excited whatsoever. And the reason is because once we get some sort of expansion move like CPI, first of all, the CPI did exactly what we wanted it to do and exactly what I expected it to do, which was get another expansion move to take out these next recent highs here. And then I still think we probably are going to expand higher. And I'll expect probably this volume imbalance on the daily. But going into the morning, when I wake up and I see this massive move to the upside, what can we expect after an expansion move, right? Accumulation, slow action, a lot of the times after CPI, after these big moves. So going into the morning, I was pretty patient, and I decided right at open, when we do have a news like CPI and we have a move like this, I'm going to be trading a lot lower size, right? Because I know that I need now a lot more structure to validate some sort of bias to give me an understanding of what price wants to do. The only really trades that I'm going to be able to get today and going into the day that I know is going to be internal models, scalping, and when I'm scalping internal models without more conviction on a higher time frame, I'm not gonna over leverage. I'm not gonna even use full size. I'm not even gonna use half size. So today traded super low size. I'm pretty much break even. I'm up like $200. So again, today and days like this are days where I go into the market, especially when me and DJ are on, and these days are simply just backtesting days, because I know today is not a day where I come into the market and try to make a bunch of money. And you have to know when and when not to put on size, when and when not to recognize when the best opportunity is, because there are times when you should be risk on and there are times when you should be risk off. And it takes experience to recognize which ones are days where you should and shouldn't. And honestly, it doesn't really take much experience. Again, you can recognize it just by looking at structure and recognizing how the markets move, right? When we have an expansion move out like this, a lot of the times what's going to come after it is accumulative, slow action. So going into the morning, again, I was really just focused on watching the 30-second, the 1 minute, and the 15-second. Again, when we don't have bigger time frame action, I zoom into the lower time frames because that's the only structure that's going to give me some sort of model. So the first trade that I took today was a little bit of a long, I think it was pretty much right at open. I mean, 6 minutes after the open. We ended up selling off in the morning and ended up taking this little internal sell side level. Once I saw the hesitation to go lower, we got a market structure shift to the upside. We got a nice displacement. Again, super bullish trend. I'm not looking to really play counter trend, so I'm expecting to probably see higher prices. We end up coming back into this breaker block, and I don't automatically slap longs here because I was kind of hesitant on it. But once I saw us hold and we got this next candle move up, I entered in long, and my stop was at the bottom of this wick, and then we ended up getting a nice push up into that buy side level. So again, regular model of what we'd normally trade, sell side taken, displacement to the upside, market structure shift, came down, hold the imbalance, I entered long, tight stop. Again, decent risk on this, but again, I traded this with pretty much 2 contracts, so again, a couple $100, and then from there, we were just watching, and then after that, we didn't really get much until a lot later in the day. Finally, we started to get some movement up. Again, slowly working our way up. Again, at this point in time on the live today, we're not doing anything, right? There's nothing here for me to trade. There is not a reason for me to trade. The people that are coming into the live streams and being like, oh my God, Justin, why are you not alerting an 100-point move for me to trade? Again, you got to recognize when to have risk on, when to have risk off. And today is one of those days where you come into the market and you don't expect much. You have low expectations. And guess what? Every single day I come into the market, I have low expectations, and you should as well. Every trade that you go into, you should expect to lose, because the more that you are expecting an outcome, the more emotional you're going to be, the more anxiety you will have while holding a position, and the more stress you will have just going into the day overall because you're expecting something out of it. The market does not owe you fucking shit, okay? It is your decision to make good decisions, and if you don't, you're going to get fucking hurt for it. So today is one of those days where if you weren't careful, if you over leveraged and you didn't take good setups, and even if you did take good setups, you might have gotten hurt today, right? So going into the day, super small size. So that was the first trade we ended up taking. We ended up working our way up. Again, at this point in time, not really looking to take anything, working our way up. We end up getting a sell-off, continuing lower, rebalance to just go right back higher. This could have been actually a little, I could tell that this would probably be a little bit of a power of 3 scalp on a smaller time frame. So you could, again, look at this being accumulation, manipulation at the lows, and then that expansion move higher. So this could have been a nice little long setup. Did anybody see this today? Just by looking back, anybody see this? Me, yes. Yeah, this would have been a nice little cheeky long, nice power three again. When you notice the displacement to go lower, right? If I'm looking to see if we're gonna go higher or lower, I'm looking to see the displacement through whatever the lows are. So if we come down and we see this low, and I'm like, all right, if this is market maker sell model, I need to see a lot of displacement through this recent low. But we come down, sweep it, get displacement back up, I automatically low. We're probably going back to new highs, right? So nice little power of three model there. Anybody who caught that? End up coming up, making new highs. And then this is where I started to get back into some opportunity. So looking at the 5-minute, we end up pushing up higher, and we end up creating the first imbalance of the day, which was this 5-minute fair value gap. So at this point in time, I'm looking to see, are we either going to hold this imbalance or are we going to break through it? Because if we end up breaking through this imbalance, I'm confident that we're probably going to go to this next recent low, right? Again, this is complete full inverse model. If we end up coming down, breaking this, I'm expecting this to probably end up going down here. But the tricky thing about today is we kind of was playing in between these two areas, right? And that's why you'll notice this on lower probability days of when we are watching to see what is being respected, what is being disrespected. You won't see neither, right? This chart is acting like this imbalance isn't even here, right? So one thing that you can do to recognize good conditions versus bad conditions is if PD arrays are constantly being respected. If PD arrays are constantly getting ran through and not acting as inverse and just kind of chopping, and you can't even tell that it's there and it's acting as any influence on price, that is a sign that you should probably not trade that day because PD arrays are not getting respected. So we end up coming down to the 1-minute. And again, I'm not really looking to take longs or shorts until I see either this get ran through or we end up coming lower. So the first little scalp that I took here ended up getting stopped at break even, and I decided to take this off pretty like a couple minutes after, or probably like 1 minute after I entered, because I realized that we're probably going to end up having to push higher. We had a little bit, we ended up breaking through this 5-minute fair value gap, so I was looking for it to become inverse. We ended up coming back to this 1 minute. Let me zoom into the 15-second here. We ended up coming back to the 1-minute fair value gap, ended up tapping it right here, and then we ended up forming an SMT right here. I think I entered right here. We ended up forming a little bit of an SMT right here. So again, I was expecting this on ES to be the pullback into the imbalance and then sell off to the most recent low. But again, not really everything I need to see here. So not really, again, nothing today was really an A+ setup in my opinion. So that's why I'm trading 2 contracts and very, very tight risk. And I'm taking shit off at break even because I'm just looking to see how market's reacting to price, right? Today is focused on back testing. That's all it is. Days like this, you'll notice who I am as a trader, and a lot of the times when you'll see me on live when we're on days like CPI or like yesterday or days where we are slow, choppy action, I'll trade very low size, but I'll test ideas and I'll test concepts, and I'll either, put my stop at break even or have super tight stop. So there's really no way that I'm losing more than maybe $500 on the day, even if I lose that much, because I'm just primarily focused on backtesting price action, right? I'm not going to waste a day. This is kind of the way that I think about it, right? A lot of you guys get validation for your work by getting green, by being green on the day, right? Or taking an A+ setup, but you're not going to get that every day. You're not going to be green every day, so that shouldn't be your validation. So when I go into a day like this and I automatically know that I'm not getting any sort of high quality setup today, most likely, what I am going to focus on doing is just backtesting price, right? I'm not looking to make a bunch of money. I'm not looking to over leverage. I'm not looking to even go half my size. All I'm looking to do is enter positions with 1-2 contracts, if not just paper trade the day, and back my ideas, back price action, back what I would expect to see on a normal day. And what that's doing is it's gaining now experience by at least making an action from it, right? So instead of just either watching the entire day, which is totally fine, again, completely fine, which is probably a better thing to do, which is just not trade the entire day. And just not even look at the market. But if you are going to look at the market, again, focus on gaining experience, keeping the edge sharp, right? Yeah, exactly. Keeping the knife sharp, testing your eyes, testing where you think the draw on liquidity is, testing ideas, right? Again, I'm not focused on making a bunch of money. I'm not focused on passing my eval today. I'm just simply focused on watching price action. So first little trade here, I saw this little SMT. Again, I wanted to see if we could get a nice expansion move pretty quick. I wanted to see this happen quick. I wanted to see volatility start to kick into the market. So I entered in a little bit of a long or a short right here. Once we ended up coming back and ended up running through. Actually, I don't think I got stopped at breaking. I think I lost like $100 on this because I put it at the high. Once we ran this little imbalance back to the upside, I realized that NQ was probably going to rebalance back to equilibrium of this price, or at least come back to sweep this little high here. Because also I noticed the hesitation in price. When we get to here, we should not be rebalancing or chopping here. When we come back to this imbalance, if this is an efficient market, we get a displacement down, we hold this SMT, we'll come to this imbalance and sell right back off. But we don't do that. Again, it's automatic. It's watching price action and looking how we are respecting these levels. Because in an efficient market, when we are watching a clean model or a clean imbalance and we know where the draw is, it's going to be respected almost all the time when we're in an efficient market. When we're not, we're going to be tapping around it. We're going to be chopping inside of an imbalance, not really respecting it. And that's when it's normally time when you don't trade. So at this point in time, I got stopped at, I think, $100 on the little high here. We ended up coming one more time. And then I gave one more shot on some shorts right here. When we came up, we formed another SMT. I was expecting this to become a soup entry. Once we formed SMT, again, looking out on a bigger time frame as well, we were rebalancing to the 1 minute. And right when I saw the rejection of the SMT, I gave it one more stab with a couple, one or two contracts. And then we ended up getting a push right back higher to go higher. And I got stopped on that as well. So then from there, again, I'm just simply watching price action. I'm not looking to long this. I'm not really looking to do anything until I see more structure. So I end up trying to hold this. So this is where it gets tricky, right? Because let me clear these imbalances here. If I'm looking at this chart, right, and I'm trying to figure out where market wants to go, we're playing between these two imbalances. It's not clear to us. We have a big 5 minute here, but we technically are trying to hold it because we just had this big candle here. So now we just ran through this bullish imbalance. So we should definitely probably go to highs now. But then we end up technically holding the 5 minute and this imbalance here because we end up rejecting this candle to the downside, right? So we're just tiptoeing in this area, which is when you realize, hey, I should probably not be trading this, or if I am, super, super low size, right? It's recognizing conditions. The whole goal of what I want to get out of tonight's session, and especially Monday and Tuesday of this week, is recognizing conditions. Recognizing when is it appropriate for me to, scale into a positions or have extra conviction or, try to squeeze out profits. When you notice us acting like this, which is disrespecting these imbalances, not being clear of where the market wants to go. And I get you too. One little extra tip as well is when you see everybody in the Discord not on the same page is most likely when we have bad conditions. Because the times when we get the best setups is when everybody's on the same page and it's like, guys, this looks fucking good because it's so clear to us, right? The conditions are so met. The setup is so clear that everybody is on the same page. Today, Johnny was like, guys, I think longs are good. DJ's like, guys, I want to take a short here. I'm like, all right, I don't know what the fuck to do, right? Because it's just simply watching price action. When we're not on the same page, we are still. We wait. Unprobable market conditions, right? So we end up coming up, selling all the way back down. Now, once all of these imbalances got ran through, this starts to make me believe that this probably becomes a market maker sell model, at least to this low. I don't know how low we're going. I don't even know if this is market maker sell model, but I'm pretty confident that the draw is going to be here now that this imbalance has pretty much been fully ran through. We tried to run it here. We came back up, rejected the 5 minute fair value gap up here, sold back below this imbalance. So at this point, I'm like, all right, we're definitely going to this low. I don't know if we're going to this low, but we're definitely going to this low. So I ended up taking another short that got stopped at break even again. In this imbalance here, we came up, entered short on this imbalance, ended up selling back off, didn't come down, ended up coming back up, got stopped at break even, came back down from equal lows. Again, choppy, no clean action whatsoever. We ended up selling off, taking this low. And again, at this point, everybody that was in shorts at this time, I said, guys, make sure you are taking profit at this lows because recognize how slow the action is. When we are bearish or we are bullish, you want to notice how ES and NQ are playing off of each other. So this is kind of what I want to go over here in this price action, and I want to talk about how you can expect to get an SMT and how you know when to take profits just based off of strength and weakness. So looking at NQ and ES at this time, when ES is here, ES is making higher highs. So we're pushing up. We're super bullish at this point in time. When NQ is at these lows and we're struggling to sell off here, ES is doing nothing here. ES is absolutely, there's no reason for ES to sell here yet. So when NQ ends up coming down and forming SMT, again, notice the low that we're taking here on NQ. ES is nowhere near these lows. Now, this is equal lows. This is somewhere that I want to see get targeted. and I want to see this become the draw. But at this point in time, I don't have enough confirmation that this becomes the draw, right? So we end up chopping in this little area here. We got to move down, end up forming SMT at this point in time. Where is that low? Right here. Actually, where was it? Right here? Yeah. We end up forming SMT. Once we form SMT here, again, I'm looking to see the reaction. That's all I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see, do we displace through this low, or do we sweep this low and get displacement back up? So we end up getting displacement back up. I then expect this to become a sweep, possible a little bit of a power of 3, accumulation, manipulation at the low, and then distribution. So I like this little scalp setup for a possible long. I like the SMT. We have a sell side swept. NQ is having resistance to go lower, right? I'm recognizing strength and weakness. And then I took a little bit of a long stab here. Again, just targeting these equal lows. I'm not trying to catch home runs on days like this. I'm just trying to catch little moves, and I'm just backtesting price. That's all it is, right? That's all it is. So nice little long right there. Brought me up a little, like, again, up 200, 300 bucks on the day. And then the rest of the day, I didn't touch, again. And I'm hoping you guys didn't as well, unless you had conviction for a setup later in the PM. I didn't really see what was in the PM. So what I want to get out of today, if you are taking notes or if you're watching or anything, one thing I want you to get out of today is today and Monday and Tuesday, so far this week has been testing your ability to recognize when to be risk on and when to be risk off, right? And I'm glad that you guys are here, because me and DJ, Johnny, we are here to help you understand those things, right? Because again, when I'm just looking at price action and somebody says, guys, it's unprobable market conditions, okay, what does that fucking mean, right? I'm here to explain what that means and how to recognize those things, right? There's multiple ways to do so. So today is one of those days. Number one, what is the first thing that I know going into the day that's going to be unprobable market conditions? We had CPI in the morning, and not just CPI in the morning, but we had a massive move in the morning. What comes after massive moves? Accumulation, right? We have manipulation, distribution, and accumulation, or consolidation, consolidation and accumulation, same thing. But when we come up and have a big move in the morning, our objective for the day has already been met. So I need a lot of structure on a bigger time frame to give me validation for any sort of really bigger time frame bias, right? And what do I need for a high quality setup? I need a bigger time frame draw and a lower time frame draw. I need both the higher and the lower time frame to validate my bias for a high quality setup. Today, I don't have that because I don't know what the bigger time frame wants to do since we just had this big move. I'm letting today, right now that I zoom out, I'm like, hey, we have at least something here now. We have this internal structure on a 5-minute to give us something that is going to set us up for tomorrow and the rest of the week, right? So you have to recognize where we are in relationship to price. And that is when you can recognize the days when to be risk on and risk off, because it's all relation to structure. What has to happen for me to get a good quality setup? And I said this in the morning too. I said right at open, I was like, guys, we don't have structure. I'm expecting to see, right? I need something like, this to give me more structure, because right now we don't have anything right in this little thing, right? So when I am looking at the market in this time, I'm super zoomed into the small, like 15-second time frames, because those time frames are the only time frames that I actually have structure to validate. So when you see me on trading on days like this, you'll notice pretty much every setup I took today was on a 15-second or a 30-second, because on a bigger time frame, there wasn't enough structure to validate a model. But we got internal models on a smaller time frame. But on a bigger time frame, you're going to need a lot more time for that to be clear, right? So today was one of those days, right? Recognizing when and when to be risk off. Came into the day, super small contract size, super small trades, stop at break even, super tight risk, right? And these are the days where, again, I'm just focused on backtesting price. I'm not focused on passing evals, not focused on making money. So that's what I want you guys to get out of today. Any questions on any of those trades, or any questions just on today in general? Haven't taken a single trade this week. Not much that I've liked. Love to hear it, Brian. Love to fucking hear it, bro. How about the shorts at 1:30 p.m.? Oh, yeah, let me take a look at I want to take a look at the PM session and see if there was anything that I might have taken. I actually was looking at this. I was thinking about taking longs here. We ended up coming back to this 30-minute fair value gap, ended up sweeping sell side. I don't know if there was an entry here, though. I think it was kind of a straight-up move. Yeah, it really was. So most likely wouldn't have gotten an entry on this move back up. But if you did catch a long here after this low was taken and we got this move up, that would have been really nice. I would not have looked to take shorts up here. Again, there's not enough structure for me to take shorts. Again, when I zoom out here, there's no displacement through any sort of low for me to take a short. So, in my opinion, I don't think there was any short setup in the PM. $130. Oh yeah, let me check here. I didn't see this. It's actually not that bad. Yeah, I like this actually. Right here? Yeah, this is nice. 150, not 130 though. This would be the only short. This would be the only short. There's no shorts here. Because again, there's no displacement through any low. Right? Again, tell me the reason why this is the only short is because there's no displacement. Notice there's not a single bearish imbalance that is created in this here. Right? The only thing I see is this little tiny baby one right here. But again, displacement equals a big move. This is what I want to see. When I get displacement to the downside, I get internal taken. We get internal taken once again. This imbalance now gets ran through. Once this gets ran through, I'm looking to take shorts. We get displacement through the most recent low. Pull back to imbalance. This would have been a nice short. Targeting sell side. Anybody take that short? I think that's probably the only really good setup today. Yeah, and you have the unicorn setup too, because we have the breaker. I did. Nice. Yes. Me. Nice. Yeah, if you guys took that, I would say that's probably the better setup of today. Entered here at end of the day. My question here is, was this a good setup even though there wasn't really displacement through a swing low before I entered? The trade worked out. Any thoughts or improvements? Much appreciated. Let's see. Okay, it's not, again, this is when me personally, again, you know me, I'm always waiting for the second entry, so this would be the first. I like that you waited. I like that you took this after the stop hunt. And I like that this was your first TP. So I'm actually I don't think this is bad. But what I do think I would say wait for, this one's kind of hard. I think this is a good setup, but okay, this is what I said about this. It's not bad. I would rate this probably like a B minus. And the only reason I say that is because you didn't have the displacement. Again, you don't know that we're going to sweep this high. You don't know if we're going to go higher or not. Once you get the displacement, again, since market close, again, even if I'm looking to take shorts here, market close, so again, I'm not looking to take shorts there. I like, did we have an SMT here? Or no? That's a big question. If we had an SMT here, I give it a little bit of, if there was, okay. You get bumped to a B plus then. This was short. Would this be A plus? Yeah, if you guys took that short, this would have been, again, not A plus because it's lower conditions today, but I would give it probably this was the best setup of the day. How do you manage your risk when you enter on a higher time frame fair value gap on NQ, like the 1 minute, 5 minute, since you know you most likely enter in a 15-second, 30? Yeah, great question. So this is what I do. Take notes here. Gems here. Time and price. If I'm looking at an imbalance, let's say this is a 15-minute imbalance. So I need some sort of bias on a bigger time frame. Say bullish or bearish. Say bullish. Pick one. Bullish. All right. Bullish imbalance. This is the model that I'm looking for. Let me take this out and then I'll draw. Bing, bing, bing. Let's say this is what I'm looking at on the chart, right? Let's say this is the chart I'm looking at. So what's my bias here? My bias is bullish. Let's say this is a 15-minute time frame. 15-minute, right? So you know me. I'm not looking to just long, right? I'm not looking to long if I'm on a 15-minute time frame, right? Even if I'm on a 5-minute, I'm not looking to long, right? Because I want to. I'm precision. I'm a precision trader. I want to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So what do? I look for an imbalance. Let's say we're pulling back to this imbalance right here. We have a big 15-minute imbalance. We got a breaker. We got a breaker here. You know, we got a bunch of stuff, right? I'm looking to see if we hold this. So I'm on a 15-minute time frame here. 15-minute fair value gap. Okay. So what am I looking for? This is now my internal buy side level. I zoom in. So my bias is bullish on a bigger time frame. I zoom in. What am I looking for? The exact same fucking model. I'm looking to see displacement out of this imbalance and hopefully a stop rate. Boom. Why is this now validated? Because we've now respected this imbalance. We've now had some sort of stop rate at the low, right? Sell side being swept. And we've now had displacement out of the imbalance in favor of the external draw. So now not only is my internal draw in favor of my external draw, well, actually, that's what I was about to say. Not only is my internal draw in favor higher, but my external draw is in favor higher, right? So again, highest quality setups you're going to get is when every bias you look at is in favor of one another. So I get displacement up. Now I can take whatever this is. If this is a 5-minute fair value gap, a 1-minute fair value gap, well, actually, okay, this would probably be a 5-minute since I'm on a 15-minute now. So what I'll do is this I'm probably super confident in. I'll probably just enter in this 5-minute fair value gap. If I want to scale in even more, I'll do this. Half size, displacement up, full size, more, imbalance, another contract, move my stop. We come back. We're kind of chilling. We're kind of chilling. Stop right this. Another contract, move my stop to this low. And then we skyrocket. So original entry here. Stop at the recent low. I add full position once we get displacement out of this imbalance. Move stop to half. So now I'm in my full position size. Move up, move up, move up. Again, I'm looking for opportunity to add. I'm not just adding. I'm not just adding randomly. I'm looking for time to tell me when to add. Come down, come down, come down. Hey, do we get displacement through this low? No, we get displacement right after taking this low. This is another stop rate. I look to add another contract. Boom, another imbalance. Move my stop to break even. So now I'm in 7 contract, right? More than what my full position size is, but it's totally fine because I'm now scaling my trading, right? So now I'm in more than my full size with a stop at break even, and if I win this trade, I'm now making absolute bank. Take notes. And then let your runners go. You take off whatever you want on that first high, and then you let your runners go. Make sense? This is similar to my buy entry yesterday, 7 a.m. PST, 15-minute BIST, October, high confluence, stop raise, displacement, higher time, looks for displacement. Yep. What a fucking gem you just dropped. You're such a gift for teaching. Much love, Brian. So on NQ, is it valid to place stops underneath fair value gap or just on recent lows? It depends. It really depends. My first entry, I'm doing it on the recent low. Once I get more confirmation, or actually, sorry, yeah. Well, my original entry would be here, so I'll put it on the recent low here. Once I get this confirmation, I'll move my stop up to the recent lows. But a lot of the times I'll give it more room. Like again, if I enter here, I'm not moving my stop to this low because we can still come back down and sweep this low, right? Now, the reason I move my stop to this low though, right? Again, it's all time and price. Why would I not add my stop to this low, but I'm fine with moving my stop to this low? Because this low is not a swing low. This was the swing low that this just got swept. So there's no reason for us to go back to this low because we just swept this recent low. So when I'm in a long here, I'll put my stop here. Once I add my position here, I'll move my stop to here. Not this low because there's still a possibility we can still come down to take this low and then bounce right back up. But I'll add here and then reposition myself to this low because there's no reason for us to go back down here. There's a possibility we can come back down, but it's so much less likely now that we have taken this low. Could you please do a video on you starting with a naked chart and then start to adding fair value gaps? And what do you mean? If it breaks that last low, would it invalidate the trade idea? The only way that this trade idea gets invalidated is if the bigger bias gets invalidated. That's the only way. So the only way I'm not looking for longs here is if this fair value gap gets ran through, because then the external draw is off, right? Once I have an external draw, I'm zoomed in to look for a model that's in favor of that draw. That's why when I'm saying today, the only way that you're taking setups today is by super small size in super internal models, because you're trying to align the 5-minute being your external model with the 15-second being your internal. But we don't have bigger time frame on a bigger time, or we don't have structure on a bigger time frame to validate a bias. So there's no high quality setup today. With this, if this is a 15-minute, I'm now zoomed into here because I know where the bigger time frame wants to go. What do you think about this trade at his inverse fair value gap? I didn't take this trade because Johnny said he hopped in shorts and I had crazy FOMO. Wait, what do you think about this trade? Isn't this what Johnny took? I think. Yeah. Again, for me, I don't have enough conviction for this. But once this imbalance got ran through here, once this 1 minute got ran through, then I'm good to take shorts. Entered one con because I was concerned of that 15-minute fair value gap. I wanted to add along the way, but wasn't sure until it broke below and caught a small continuation. Was this the first trade okay? The risk on this is not good. Again, if you want to try, okay, this great entry, but this risk to me just tells me you don't have conviction with the model. And I know that you're worried about this 15-minute, but there's no reason to be worried about the 15-minute. This 15-minute bullish for value gap, you should have conviction this gets ran through just because of the model. One thing that's holding you back is you're not trusting your model. Justin, if I'm trading micros and I trade on the 15-second, how much cash do I need in my account to trade for each contract? Before, I think you said 1,000 per con. However, since there's less range on the 15-second, I can use more cons. Oh, got you for like stops. Micros is just 1/10, so it's $100 for initial margin. Took this on the 30-second after open on NQ, similar to your trade, just on the 30-second. Yep, this looks great. This is the same trade I took in the morning. Yep. Again, great. Looks beautiful. Sell side manipulation, got displacement, imbalance, long. Looks great. Same trade I took in the morning. Jimmy, I suggest watching 2022 ICT mentorship, brother, and watching some other of my videos. Did you check long 1225? My bad, I just got back to work. Long 1225. Let me delete this. Actually, and if you guys want to screenshot this, you can let me add these entries here. Actually, I think somebody already screenshotted it. Somebody put it in the chat. You can go back in the recording. What was it? What time? 12:25. It's okay. Again, I wouldn't be looking to take anything here, to be honest. All right, let's talk about what we're looking at going into tomorrow. Let me clean up the chart here a bit. All right. So we're starting to get to a point where I would really like a correction move. Like we ran, was it 2,000 points in the last 2 weeks? 1,500 points? Like crazy. Now, would I be surprised if we just go straight to this high? Probably not. But I really would like to see some sort of correction, like at least something to an imbalance. So what I'm looking for here is I'm going to look at this 4-hour imbalance, and I'm going to look, actually, this is CPI candle, so never mind. I can't zoom in here. This is what I'm looking to see. We have some sort, again, we have to notice where we are in price. What is important here? What do I need to see that is going to give me a solid entry long? Some sort of imbalance, and we have some sort of low here. We have a low on a 1 hour. That's great. I would love to see us come back to here. And we also have a big 1 hour imbalance. So I want to see us fucking massive imbalance. Again, this is the point where I would zoom in and see if there's a smaller imbalance here. But I mean, I guess we have a 5 minute. I guess that'll work. But it's CPI candle, so we literally just skyrocketed in the span of like 1 minute. But I'm looking to see us calm down and take some sort of level. Again, I still don't think there's enough structure here, though. So going into tomorrow, be cautious. Again, wait for more structure. Trade the internal models with low size, okay? The draw is still higher, but that doesn't mean I'm automatically expecting to see a massive push up without some sort of stops being ran, right? So when I zoom out to the 4 hour, this is literally the only recent low we have. We're probably not going to come back here. We could. I mean, I actually kind of like to see us come back more. We have a daily fair value gap that is open down here. We have a daily order block that I would maybe like to see us come back to, but I really do think that this is a correction. We need some sort of correction here, in my opinion. So going into tomorrow, be cautious. I will not be trading tomorrow because I get on a flight at 5 a.m. So I'm not going to be trading tomorrow, but Johnny and DJ will both be on live with you guys tomorrow, so you're going to be trading with them. Just be cautious tomorrow, right? Again, this is one of those weeks where you have to make sure time and price are aligning. You can't expect every single week to get high-quality opportunity because if the structure doesn't show you that there is going to be that, then you can't expect it, and you can't go into the week putting on size. Again, recognizing when and when not to put on size is what I want you to get out of this session. So be careful going into tomorrow. Wait for more structure. I would like to see something like this. And then once we came down here, did something, got displacement back up, then you can look to take longs. Something like this. It just makes more sense. We need something. Right now, no longs up here. Unless we get more structure. Yeah, I'll try to send out my pre-market bias. I'll see if I can get Wi-Fi on the plane, I think. All right. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Enjoy the rest of your night. Get some rest. Get some sleep. Again, plenty of more opportunity to come in the market. It has been 2 days this week. Be safe. Do not make dumb decisions. Don't dig the hole deep for yourself before we start getting good action and good opportunities. Don't over leverage. Be safe. Be smart. Be disciplined. Be patient. I will see you guys tomorrow. Actually, wait. I'll see you guys. I'll let you know if we're doing a charting session tonight. I'm not sure if we will or not because I think I'm actually going to see my brother perform. So we'll see. DJ or Johnny might do the session tomorrow night. But I'll let you guys know tomorrow. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you all then. Peace out, guys. Get some rest.